Hi, Yvena. Thank you for opting in. I'm excited to look over your magazine spread. Just opened it here. Um, okay, the very first thing I noticed is I don't think you took two of these images. Okay, I know you probably didn't take this one. I'm guessing not for either of these as well. So remember, one of the minimum requirements for this assignment is you need to take personally at least two of the images that you're using on your magazine spread. So be sure you get those in. That is one of the minimum requirements and can drop you down quite a bit. Okay, so go out there, figure out what you can take an image of that will move the story forward, laying a foundation of a great work. Maybe corner of the house, even pile of dirt, shovel, whatever you want it to be, something that will help make this story come to life, or a really, really cool building, something like that, okay? You want your images to be compelling, you want them to be big. That's why we've been studying about photography. Apply those rules that we learned about last week into this design, and it's going to help carry your message that is here in the writing. All right, one thing I do want to say, your color scheme looks really good. I like this light brown with the blue. It looks very classy, looks contemporary, it looks very well selected. And then your typeface is really nice as well. I like this typeface a lot. I would go through and I would take out these footnotes because they're not going to have the information that goes along with them in this 3-page magazine spread. So just remove those so visually they're not distracting. Here's a 5 here, there's a 6, okay? Your columns, like I just said, they're really, really nice. I can tell you've been following the rule of alignment. They're really consistent where they start and where they stop, which is great. The edges look nice and strong. Be sure to turn off your hyphens, all right? You always want to turn off hyphens for any kind of professional magazine spread. This image, you may use an image that you have not taken, 1 or 2 images in this magazine spread, as long as you have 2 images you did take. Now this image, he looks very, very squished, okay? So look at your original image wherever you got this and compare them side by side. Is this how he should look? Let me pull it up here. Okay, so see how this image, look at the ratio. Maybe there's it's almost twice as long as it is wide. Now, when you placed it in here, you made it wider than you made it long. So he's very, very squished. So whenever you're placing an image, make sure you hold control and make sure that the proportions stay the same. All right, that way it's going to avoid being an issue and moving around the page. And my trick is whenever I do that, I always just go back and look at the original image, and kind of check and make sure the proportions are about the same. All right. I do not see subheadings. Remember, that's another minimum requirement. You need to go through and add in subheadings. So maybe right here, it says Parents in Zion, and then that's on its own line. It's 2 times as bold. It's in a contrasting typeface. It's a serif typeface, or it's a script typeface. Maybe it's, something like this, or something like this, that is going to be telling you what the next couple paragraphs are about. You need to have those in this section. All right, so look at those minimum requirements, make sure you have those. And then make them bold, make them bigger, make them a different color. Go back and use this nice, cool dark blue and make them that color. All right. Oh, here's a typeface that's contrasting. So maybe you're using this contrasting typeface. But do something with those subheadings so they catch your eye, they intrigue you, and you want to read what comes after that. I would probably say you could make your images larger. These 2 images, see how this image is in line with the column that is underneath it. That's boring. We want to do something that grabs your eye and makes you really want to look at that image. Take this image, make it 2 or 3 times bigger, have it go off the edge of the page. Now, you probably wouldn't do that with just an image of a person, but what you could do that with is an image that you're going to take of that building or that building supply, or maybe it's something about we never leave our home or end a telephone conversation without saying I love you. Maybe it's something that just goes along with the story, like a family talking on the phone, your family talking on the phone. But make it a big picture. Make it go kind of aggressively assertive with where you want to look on the page. Okay, another thing is watch the placement of these letters. See how close the L is to the edge of your shape and how close the W is to the edge of the shape. You need a little bit more space between where a letter ends and another element ends so they don't blend in together and make it kind of difficult to read. Okay, so I've talked about these two pages quite a bit. Let's go ahead and talk about your title page. Your title page is a little bit safe. It's also a little bit hard to read. Laying the foundation, I cannot read that W or that Y at all. I'm just assuming that's what it says. So use the principle of contrasting typography, contrasting color. It looks like this was probably going to be a full bleed. I can't quite tell. No, I don't think so. I think you have it placed on the page. If you're going to have this big of an image on a first page, pull it all the way off. Don't stop before you get to the edge. Pull it all the way off so it looks really interesting, modern, and clean. All right. And then maybe if you have an image that's like a landscape image, it can run all the way across the top 2/3 of your page. Remember, following the rule of thirds. And then on the bottom, this is where you have your title. And you can make your title right aligned like you've already done, but don't box it in with a shape. We don't need this extra shape down here. We usually want to avoid just adding boxes to a page because that's going to trap your white space. What you want to do is you want to add compelling, interesting things to look at in the typeface. So maybe you have laying the foundation in a nice sans serif like you have, but of a great work. Of a great work is really big. It's in a really cool script font. Okay, something like this, of a great work, and it's following your color scheme. What's your color scheme on this page? The blue and the brown, and maybe it's green, for example, like a fresh green. Of a great work is 2 to 3 times as big as laying the foundation. And then his name is tucked in underneath that. Okay, so that's just an idea of the way you could take something that you're off to a good start, but you could make it even more compelling, interesting, and always make sure it's easy to read. Okay, so that's a lot of information, a lot of ideas. If you get playing around and you feel like you're not quite sure where to go because you've made some of the choices, but you're not sure where to go with the next few choices, you can feel free to email me your second draft. I'll take a look at it and write you back and give you some pointers on the direction to continue to go on. All right, so you're off to a good start. Just keep on plugging along. Keep on playing with that rule of contrast. I think that's the thing that's going to really take your design to the next level. And then be sure to get your images and your subheadings in there so you can get full credit for all of your work. All right, thanks so much and good luck this week. Bye.